I'm Ben Hoover, and this is Weekend Odds and Ends, a special Friday edition of the UPI Odd News Minute for May 23rd, 2025. Welcome to Weekend Odds and Ends, our weekly roundup of the missed odd-portunities that didn't quite make this week's podcasts. First up, a Norwegian man was roused by a neighbor in the early morning and alerted to an unusual situation. A cargo ship was in his front yard. Johan Helberg said he was asleep inside his home in Beinset on the Trondheim fjord when neighbor Jostein Jorgensen rang his doorbell and called his phone to alert him to the fact that a cargo ship had run aground in his yard. Helberg told TV2 if the ship had hit the rocky outcrop right next to it, it would have lifted up and hit the house hard. It only missed by a few meters. Jorgensen said he woke up just a few minutes earlier to the sound of the boat approaching. He ran outside and attempted to sound the alarm. Jorgensen said he was surprised to learn Helberg had slept through the incident, saying, "I was sure that he was already outside, but no, there was no sign of life. I rang the doorbell many times and nothing, and it was only when I called him on the phone that I managed to contact him." Bente Hetland, managing director of the shipping company NCL, said there were no injuries among the boat's crew. Local police said an initial investigation indicates the officer who was responsible for steering the ship may have fallen asleep at his post. In other maritime news, marine rescuers in North Carolina said they removed more than 1.5 pounds of barnacles and other organisms from a stranded green sea turtle. The Cape Hatteras National Seashore said on social media that its resource management team responded to a call about a stranded juvenile sea turtle, and they brought the reptile to the Sea Turtle Assistance and Rehabilitation Center at the North Carolina Aquarium. The team removed more than 1.5 pounds of epibiota, organisms that live on the surface of other living organisms, from the weighed-down turtle. Officials said the turtle is now being cared for at the aquarium and is already looking much more active and on the way to recovery. Moving on from reptiles with skin like leather to birds of a feather, a zoo in Washington is asking nearby residents to be on the lookout for an East African crowned crane that escaped from the facility. The Cougar Mountain Zoo issued an alert on social media Wednesday reporting the juvenile exotic bird had been spotted outside of zoo grounds in Issaquah. The crane, distinguished by its crown of golden feathers, was initially seen near Northwest Newport Way in Issaquah and was later spotted at Lake Sammamish State Park. Residents are being asked to report any sightings and not attempt to approach or apprehend the bird. And finally, in other great escapes, a kangaroo that made headlines last year when he escaped and went for a hop around a Colorado town made a repeat appearance and was wrangled by police. The Durango Police Department said that Irwin the kangaroo escaped from his owner's home on Monday, just a few months after going viral for a previous escape in October 2024. Police wrote, "Naturally, our officers responded to the call, again, safely wrangled him, again, and made sure he was in good hands. Because public safety, even with paws and a pouch, is still public safety." The department said Irwin has earned the title of Durango's most unexpected repeat offender. For these stories and more national, international, sports, entertainment, science, and odd news from United Press International, visit UPI.com. Follow the UPI Odd News Minute on YouTube and TikTok. Have you ever found something weird in your backyard? Tell us about it in the comments.